Hey folks, I'm Prime, and thank you for tuning in for another great, exciting episode where we get to talk about Optimus Primal and Optimal Optimus. Let's get into this!
Beast Wars!
Optimus Primal first aired on the show Beast Wars Transformers, or in Canada known as Beasties, and which aired from 1996 to 1999, which you can collect on DVD. These are the two DVDs, Season 1 and also Season 2 and 3 combined in one package there. You can also, if you just want to watch it, you're not a collector, you can also go on the streaming service Tubi and you can watch it for free there as well. Also, a known fun fact, Beast Wars, the animated series, was all done in computer animation. It was the first all computer animated TV show for the Transformers series. And also, it was the second all computer animated TV series to ever air on TV, following which was the first one was Reboot. And this was before Toy Story and the Disney and Pixar era came to be. It pretty much kick-started the computer animated movies TV series momentum, I guess you would say, right? Optimus Primal is the leader of the Maximals, which in the show Beast Wars, they are the descendants from the Autobots from the G1 Transformers cartoon show from the 80s. And they are in a war with the Predacons, which are also the descendants of the Decepticons from the Great War with the Autobots in the cartoon Transformers, the G1 cartoon. And in the show, if later on you actually see some of the original Transformers, and you get to see how much difference the size is, and they compare the technology of the Transformers compared to the Beast Wars Transformers. But in toys, they arrange in size. They're not Maximals. The Beast Wars are typically can be bigger than some of the Transformers. It depends in toy, but it depends on the toy too as well. But one thing that does make a difference between the Autobots, the Decepticons, the Maximals, and Predacons, in the original Transformers, when they transformed, they just made a transforming sound, and then they would transform, or sometimes Optimus Prime would tell the Autobots, transform and roll out! Something like that, right? Within Beast Wars, if you're a Maximal, you would say your name, and then you would say, Maximize! So, for example, Optimus Primal would say, Optimus Primal, Maximize! Because he's an ape, right? He's a gorilla. And then in the Predacons would say their name and then terrorize. So, for example, one of the characters, his name was Pterosaur, he transformed into a pterodactyl. You would say, Pterosaur, terrorize! So, in Season 1 of Beast Wars, as mentioned before, Optimus Primal is the leader of the Maximals, which they landed on Earth in the war against the Predacons, Megatron of the leader of the Predacons. But this Earth is different than our Earth, it's a bit different than the G1 Transformers Earth. It's in an alternate timeline, prehistoric timeline. So this is before the humans walked the Earth, which later they introduced later on and in future seasons. But so anyway, so in Season 1, they show that Optimus Primal, he transforms into an ape, regular gorilla, and then when he's in robot mode, he can actually fly. In the show, he had like rockets coming from the back here when he's in robot mode. So he's actually one of the few Maximals that can fly. There's not many Maximals that actually do fly. The odd other one were flying Maximals. Like there was one called Air Razor, who she was also a female Transformer who could fly because she transformed into an eagle, a falcon actually, a falcon. But so while Season 1 went on, you get to introduce the different Maximals and Predacons, and at the end, the climax of Season 1, the Maximals and Predacons are facing an unknown aliens that are invading that Earth, which they've also been to that Earth quite a while before then. But so Optimus goes up into a small spaceship, or what they call a pod, and when he goes up into outer space, that his pod actually explodes, and he essentially dies at the end of season 1, and that leaves you on a cliffhanger until you watch season 2. So, in Season 2, Optimus Primal is brought back to life with the help of Rhinox. So if you look here, Rhinox is this guy here, the green guy, who transforms into a rhino. He is also basically second command of the Maximal. So but he doesn't like to be a commander. He'd rather be on the sidelines and do his own business instead of being in the spotlight all the time. So, but when Optimus Primal got essentially destroyed at the end of season 1, Rhinox built a machine that allowed him to telepathically communicate with the spark, or the matrix. The spark is essentially the soul of a transformer, and the matrix is well known in Transformers lore as the leadership spark, as in Transformers with Optimus Prime. And by doing this, he's able to find the spark of Optimus Primal and then bring him back into his new Transmetal body, which is shown on the Beast Wars 2 box set right here. You can see he looks a bit different than the G1 version. This is not the G1 version, but the original version of Optimus Primal in the show. And I never actually owned him, but he basically transforms from robot mode to a blue ape. Blue. Yeah. And the Transmetals, they all have vehicle modes. And for Optimus Primal, his vehicle mode was a flying skateboard. I wouldn't have came up with that idea, but that was the way they did it. And so in season 2, those 2 new toy lines of Beast Wars toys that they were trying to promote in the show. One was the Transmetals, like I said before, which are introducing a vehicle mode, not just a beast mode, but a vehicle mode as well. So they're trying to get in more, like getting closer to the G1, the original Transformers, with robot modes like cars and planes and stuff like that. And then the other toy line that they introduced was Beast Wars Fuzors, which was a mixture of 2 different animals combined into one beast mode. So some will look pretty cool, like, part scorpion, part cobra. And then there were some really weird ones with like a fish and a porcupine or something like that. Maybe not porcupine, but there's been some pretty weird ones there. But yeah, they were trying to introduce the whole new toy line, like every fandom, every toy line company. But yeah, it was pretty interesting, I gotta say. Season 2 was pretty interesting with all the new characters that they introduced. In Beast Wars Season 3, they introduced the toy line of Transmetals 2. Transmetals 2 is basically Transmetals 1, but to the next level, trying to be more robotic and getting more looking like the original Transformers. More vehicles than Transmetals 1 was. So that's when Optimus comes in. He's basically the Transmetal 2 version of Optimus Primal. In the show, what happened was the Transformers find the Ark. The Ark is the Autobots' spaceship that they used to go to Earth in. And in the Transformers lore, it crash landed eons ago in Earth into a volcano. Where they crashed, and then they're in stasis lock, which stasis lock basically means they are asleep until the year 1984 when they awake. In the Beast Wars show, they find the Ark, and first of all, the Predacons get in there first, and Megatron finds the original Optimus Prime, and he actually shoots at his head and basically melts part of his head. Which, because this is an alternate timeline, history is affected by it, and his thinking was, if I destroy Optimus Prime, it'll destroy all Optimus Primes and Primals. So when the Maximals, what they had to do, Rhinox was working on repairing Optimus Prime's head, his face, and to save Optimus Prime. So his spark doesn't die, so he doesn't die and destroy everything. Optimus Primal takes on the spark of Optimus Prime, and then he merges and his body expands, becomes Optimus. And in the show, Optimus's prime spark would be actually right here. This was protected by that glass. Because he had two sparks, or two souls, inside of him, and one body couldn't hold on to two sparks, so it expanded into this mode here. And that he was one of the Transmetal 2's toy lines that came out. There was multiple other Transmetal 2 toys, like Megatron did something similar with the G1 Megatron spark, and then he merged, became a dragon, basically, in the Season 3 of Transformers. Since 1999, when Beast Wars ended, the TV series, there has been many other formats where the Optimus Primal or Optimal Optimus has came back in different formats. One was the sequel series Beast Machines, where the Maximals and Megatron go back to Cybertron, to an alternate version of Cybertron, where Megatron basically takes over Cybertron as a virus. Wasn't very well received by fans. I wasn't that big fan of it. I thought the toys were kind of ugly. Like Optimus Primal looked really ugly in toy. If you look him up, just my preference though. And then also Optimus Primal also showed up in Beast Wars 2, which was a Japanese anime that aired in Japan. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Beast Machines. You can actually watch the series on Tubi. I don't actually own it, but you can get it on DVD as well. Beast Wars 2, like I said, was a Japanese anime, which was a sequel series to Beast Wars, but they ignored what happened in Beast Machines, and it aired only in Japan. You can watch it free on YouTube. I have seen that there are YouTube episodes that you can watch, like the full episodes. I haven't really watched it too much just because didn't really interest me that much, but I might later on. I've been kind of tossing back and forth if I'm going to watch it or not, right? And then there's been multiple different Beast Wars comics. Actually, in the original Beast Wars toy line, before the original Beast Wars show aired, there was the original Optimus Primal and Megatron wasn't the gorilla and the T-Rex. Optimus was actually a bat, a gray bat, and Megatron was a green alligator. And when they first released the Beast Wars toys, they had them in one package where you could buy Optimus Primal and Megatron, and there's like a little comic that came with in the same package. It was pretty cool. I remember getting those toys back in the day, and hopefully at some point we can do a video about that. But we'll have to go from there, right? Optimus Primal also has been in other shows, including the Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom Come TV series on Netflix, only on Netflix. And what I've seen of it looks really good. I do recommend it. I still haven't watched through it all, but what I've seen looks really good. So I do recommend that there. And lastly, Optimus Primal has also appeared in the new Transformers movie, which this summer it will be in theaters. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, where the Maximals and Predacons debut very first time on live action for a movie to join with the Autobots in their fight. And now, what you've been waiting for this whole video, to talk more about the toy of Optimus Primal and Optimal Optimus. So, let's break it down. So, back when I got Optimus Primal, he was about between brand new in stores back then, back in the 90s. He was between 20 and 30 bucks Canadian. I think it was around $29.99. When I got him when I was younger. I can't remember exactly. Either I saved money and bought him myself, or he was a Christmas present. I don't remember. But yeah, I just wanted to talk a bit about the toy itself. So he basically comes. This is the robot mode. He originally came with 4 missiles, but I can't find the other 2. But you can see that he has 2 missiles here. In the show, he had a rocket pack, like I mentioned before, right here. And he originally came with 2 swords, which, when he's in beast mode, they actually just go right here. And there was another one, but I don't know where it went to. And then also, he also comes with, besides the gun in this arm, which actually folds in, and it doesn't fold in properly because it broke, but I can put elastic around the arm when he's in 8 mode, so that you can actually, so it stays as an arm. But in this arm, if you lift the top up here, see right here, there's a mace that comes out like that. See, a mace, and then you fold that part of the arm down, and then if you put it in his arm like that, he has a mace where he can, like, you know, roar, roar. And so yeah, so I will just we can put it back in there. I'm just gonna leave it out for right now. I'll show you how to transform him. First, before I transform him, so he actually looks like an ape now, with an ape with a gun sticking out of his arm. I'm just gonna put an elastic around his arm so it stays looking like an ape hand and not like a cyborg. So anyway, so the elastic's back on because, you know, it was broken when I was a kid. But so to transform him, fairly easy going. You put these two here, going back here like that, and then the chest piece is actually the ape head, and you flip the centerpiece around like this, and it goes like that, right? And then this part goes down like that, and then his legs turn around like that, and then the white back parts go in like so, and then the front part, to get ape hands, you have to fold in this bottom part here. So like that. Like that. And then he's an ape, so he has to go on all fours, right? And then voila, he's in ape mode. And then if you want to go crazy and you want guns come out, just hit the little switch down here. And oh, sorry, it actually moves his hands back and forth. So I mean, if we wanted to have him stand up a bit, and you wanted to have him beat his chest, like, you know, like King Kong, you can do that, and then you can go like this. And now, Optimal Optimus Transmetal 2 toy. What can I tell you about him? I never actually owned him as a kid. He was way too expensive. I believe when he was in stores, he was about $75. He was known as a Super Transmetal 2. He is pretty much the biggest Beast Wars toy, him and Megatron, that they released. They did make two different giants combiners in Beast Wars. I'm not sure how tall they are compared to him. I do have back at the old place packed away somewhere is the Maximals combiners, but I have to look them up. And hopefully soon I can find them. But yeah, Optimal Optimus, he's super, he's big, he is very hard to transform. He does transform into 4 different modes: robot mode, and ape, a robotic ape, gorilla, and they also transform into a plane, and also into like a truck, I think, with his... It doesn't look like Optimus Prime, but yeah. And I would transform him, but I do find him very difficult, and I may bore you with trying to transform him, but he is pretty cool. But yeah, for any kid that owned him, they would have a really hard time, and that's why when you buy Transformers, there's instructions. He needs it for sure. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that out there. And also, I did miss the Transmetal 1 Optimus Primal, the one that transforms to a blue ape and a surfboard. He, back then, I never owned him, but back then he was about $20 in the store, $19.99 Canadian, if I remember correctly. But yeah, those are the main Optimus Primals. The original one that was a bat came, like I said before, that came in a combo package with Megatron, who's an alligator. and I believe that was around $10, $9.99 or $14.99 back then, Canadian. But yeah, they did some pretty good jobs on Optimus. So if you want to purchase Optimus Primal nowadays online, I did do a Google search on how much he might be. On eBay, he ranges anywhere from $10 to about $65, depending if you find him out of the box or in the box, or if he's missing anything. Optimal Optimus, if you're trying to find where you can buy him online, on eBay he can range anywhere between $15 and $150 US, depending if he's like brand new in the package still or if he's out of the package. I recommend, if you can get a hold of his instructions, that would make your life easier for transforming him. Also wanted to mention, like I said before, that I didn't own him as a kid, but recently, not that long ago, I went to a antique mall in the Woodstock area, and I found him there, and I got him cheaper than what he was initially back in the day. So, I mean, he's still pretty good shape. There's like the odd broken thing on him, the odd missing part, but he's still in pretty good shape for the most part. And yeah, both Optimus in any form does not disappoint, because, come on, he's Optimus Prime, or Primal, depending on what version you get, right? And I just want to recommend that when you do antique shopping for vintage toys, to maximize your options. And remember, that's just Prime.